Some members of parliament, including Rufus Bousquet and Richard Frederick, have complained that non-elected ministers have too much say in the running of government. Reports are that the issue has some elected representatives upset and others are prepared to switch to the St. Lucia Labour Party. Tessa Mangal, Guy Mayers, Alan Chasney and Osbert Dovin are all selected government ministers. But Prime Minister Stephenson King says the work of government is not exclusive to elected representatives because non-elected citizens have a significant contribution to make as well.
It's not only the elected members who are called to serve. The elected members are elected, and other people, you use the resources that are available to you. You bring the best brains and minds together to work in the interest of the country. At the end of the day, what you really need is not necessarily those who elected alone to manage the affairs or to offer their services to the country, but you really need to bring in other people who have a contribution to make but who may not have got into government through the elected process.
Economic Planning Minister Osbert Dovin has received the brunt of criticism. On Wednesday, Dennery North MP Marcus Nicholas called on the Prime Minister to fire Dovin from Cabinet, stating that his inclusion was a mistake to begin. In his budget presentation, Rufus Bousquet suggested that Dovin was being allowed to do as he pleases from his office in the American Drywall Building. But Stephenson King says Dovin will remain in Cabinet until he decides otherwise.
Mr. Osbert Dovin is a member of Cabinet. It is the Prime Minister to determine the composition of his Cabinet. I'm not aware that there is a question about whether Mr. Osbert stays or goes. He's a member of the Cabinet. The Prime Minister determines at any time what his Cabinet should comprise of, and so that is it.
The Prime Minister also dismissed claims that he presented a budget containing the ideas of only well-connected party honchos. Those claims were made by Rufus Bousquet. King says that is not the case because his budget was a combination of ideas of government ministers and officers. However, he says Rufus Bousquet has the right to say what he wants.
It's not really a one-man show. It's not a situation where the Prime Minister sits down and writes a budget based on his own ideas, out of his whims and fancies. It's really based on reality.
King says he will not discipline Bousquet for his comments and assertions about the estimates of expenditure. He says his sole concern now is to ensure that the work of government is done. Shannon LeBon, HTS News, Channel 4.